Good morning, everyone. So a little bit late today, just a few seconds or so after 11 o'clock, but there you go. That was a nice weekend. Never got the rain. I think it was in different places, wasn't it? Some places got deluged and others generally relatively quiet. So we'll see. Yeah, lovely gold morning. That's a good way of putting it, Alan. I have to say I enjoyed it. Sometimes it's nice to be woken up at 7 o'clock by your son to enjoy a nice morning's Olympics. Not that my son was really. He was trying to get me to play with trains and tell him scary stories and get the police chasing the fire engines. But I got to see enough. So what have we got coming up? We're talking about end play. We'll mention, this is our last week of end play, we will mention a little bit about the defence today. And hopefully a good number of you, I've had some lovely feedback, so thanks to those of you who sent in information or hands. But what would be nice is if all of us have at least tried to give away the lead at some point, just in an effort to get the opponents to do the wrong thing or get a random end play or something like that. We'll see. On the site, of course, we've got a real bridge trial, so you've got the opportunity to play some real bridge. I know a lot of you might have already played it anyway. So real bridge is a site that allows you to play with voice and video, so you can have a go at that. There's one at 2:30 this afternoon, so it's a 2 o'clock login. It starts at 2 o'clock for 2:30. You can see the link and information on our forum. It'll probably be on the Facebook. It's also in the news site, and you'll see information on the headlines as well. So the link there, you press on the link, you go to it. If you've not got a partner, you sit down and hopefully then get partnered up. And if you're a partnership, you just sit down and that'll start. It's just 8 boards, nothing spectacular. So a little 8-board game for you to have a go. We're going to have one on Monday and then one on Thursday. Both of them will be at 2:30. The link is only for Monday, of course. We will post another link for Thursday as and when that comes. So I hope a few of you enjoyed that. I'll be on there for the first half hour just to welcome a few of you in. And we will see how you get on. So that's for members, of course, of BMB. We will look on Fridays at the moment. We're still looking at forcing bids. Quite a crucial element of bidding in the sense that is your bid forcing? Because if you don't know, you can get into some arguments, a bit like penalty doubles. And we're going to start looking at competitive auctions where we find forcing bids in competitive auctions. And we'll have our using bidding quiz, our usual hand evaluation. The teams was interesting. So our Wednesday live broadcast, my over the shoulder, we played pairs. So that's why it was interesting, because it wasn't teams. Very different. It's taking me a little bit of time to get used to that. So hopefully I will be more prepared for it next month. And it'll be a little bit less frenetic because I was jumping back and forth from hand to hand. But I think it's quite interesting. Certainly, thank you for your feedback. And we will stick with it for a few more months, once a month, and we will then a lot of it's good, should we say. I mean, I think those of you who are watching would have christened what was called an orphan board, which is one which isn't played by enough people to make it a sensible score. So at one stage we had a 0% score on a board, and it turned out we finished with 70%, and that obviously isn't ideal, but most of them were fine, and I hopefully will find a formula that works. This week, of course, we've got the prize teams. We have the prize teams this week, so that should be fun. And I'm going to start collecting the people for next month's prize teams as well, because the last 2 prize winners have been shifted to September. So hopefully our prize winner today will be available. I've already seen our prize winner talking in the live chat, so he'll be on board to respond. So we'll see with that as well. So let's start with the hand evaluation hat. So I'll go to that here. Those of you on Friday would have seen it. And what I have in mind here is talking about these ideas of forcing bids, etc. So have a look at this hand. I want you to sum it up, evaluate it, see how you feel about it. This hand would be responding to a 2-club Benji opener. So a Benji 2-club opener. Okay, so those of you who play Benji will be familiar with that. So it's the weaker of the two strong bids. On the site, we're going to be looking at strong hands in November. We're going to be spending all month in November talking about strong hands. A lot of people have asked about that. So, for example, talking about the Benji bids for strong hands, but also looking at how 3 week twos will cope with strong hands and things like that. So that will be something to think about. So, as I say, the hand evaluation hand we'll come back to after we've had a little look at our seminar. So let's go to them. So, end play. We've talked about this all the way through, so let's just give the same definition if that's all right. Okay, so the definition of an end play is where you try to get the defenders into a nasty place. Okay, so a perfect end play is where you force the defenders to give you a trick, but as I keep on emphasizing, every time you give the defenders the lead, you give them the chance to give you a trick. And it does happen quite a lot. So actually trying the effect of giving the opponents the lead makes a lot of difference. And we saw last week talking about taking advantage of the bidding. Really important, this aspect. Excuse me, because of course when your opponents interfere with your bidding, they do damage to you, and sometimes you end up in the wrong contract and things like this. Okay, so for me, okay, I want to take advantage, and if they tell me they're 5-5 in 2 suits, as we saw last week, we can take advantage, because if they've got 5 and 5, we know they've only got 3 cards left, and we can often create an end play. As we're going to see this week, though, the defenders will have a chance sometimes to actually thwart you. Okay, so sometimes the defenders can thwart you, and we're just going to have a little look at that. Now, it's difficult enough for a declarer to end play, but a defender thwarting a declarer is really tough, because in a way you've got to imagine the problem. Okay, so some of these hands are going to be similar to the ones we saw last week, but we're going to see what might happen on them. So let's look at this one. West opens the bidding 1 spade, nice and simple. North doubles for takeout. What do you fancy with the East hand? So 1 spade double for takeout, it's East's bid. It is true to say you're vulnerable, but over the double, I'm afraid I'm bidding 4 spades. Okay, and the reason I'm bidding 4 spades is because I'm thinking if they end up in 4 hearts, I'm probably going to bid it, often going to bid it anyway. So I'm bidding my hand in 1 fell swoop. East-West vulnerable worries me a little, but I'd be surprised if we're not making at least 3 spades anyway. You know, it's a pretty good hand. Okay, it's 9 losers, but you've got a 5th trump. And whenever I've got that 5th trump, I am excited about bidding 4 spades. So often they're going to have a heart fit here. On this hand, of course, if you don't make 4 spades, you might not get such a good score. However, 4 spades wins the auction. Nobody doubles you. So you finish in 4 spades. I'm not saying that's completely correct, but you know, I don't mind whether you bid 2, 3 or 4. If over 1 spade pass you were going to bid 2, then you probably should be extending to 3, because remember, we tend to extend our bids over the double, and I would feel as I'm extending them anyway, let's go the whole hog. So we're in 4 spades, and the lead is the ace of clubs. So what's happening here? What you've got to do is make a plan. So have a go at making a plan there. Okay, so let's say the North plays the ace and king of clubs. I don't know, maybe he switches at that point to a heart. As someone pointed out, there's 7 top tricks. I think the easiest thing here to do is to remember that because you've got 5 and 5 in trumps, you can ruff 2 hearts there. Is everybody happy with that? So those 2 heart ruffs will give you 2 extra tricks. Okay. And here, I think we could maybe, let's assume North's taken the ace and king of clubs. I think we could then ruff 2 clubs as well. And I think we could be in a perfect situation. So let's say you've drawn trumps, you've ruffed a couple of hearts and a couple of clubs. You have a perfect situation for an end play there. You can play a diamond to the 10. North wins. Or perhaps the 10 wins, but assuming if it doesn't win, North has to win the trick and leads a diamond back to you. Remember, you're thinking the diamond finesse might not work because, of course, North made a takeout double here. So if North plays the ace king of clubs, you should be able to make this contract, I think. Okay. So there's the full hand. Let's have a look at it. I'm going to go to Q+, if that's all right, because I want to show you a few things. Okay, so I've got the full hands there. And so what I'll do is I'll quickly play it out. So I'm going to just have to bid it, because I haven't done the bidding here. So I'll just do the quick bid. Oh, I've got them bidding, have I? Oops, hold on. I need to start again. I have to change my configuration. Apologies there. Okay, we'll start that again. As you can see then, Q+ quite reasonably just bid 2 spades on that hand. Okay, but I'm going to bid 4 spades because I'm a bit bolshy like that. Okay, so 4 spades is the final contract. Interestingly, on this hand, I think 5 hearts might make, looking at the opponent's hands. It's interesting, isn't it? So, not 5 hearts, sorry, apologies, 4 hearts may well make, because the diamonds are sitting beautifully for them. So they'll just lose 1 spade, 1 heart, and 1 diamond. Okay. So 4 spades it is. However, is 4 spades going to make? Well, let's see first of all. I'm going to play the ace of clubs. I'm just going to, don't worry about the play. I'm just going to, because I want the ace king of clubs played. At that point, I don't know, maybe you hope partner is not signalling well and you play another one. Okay. So, at this point, what we decided was I think we can actually do we can try and end play them. Okay, so we could play maybe the ace of spades off. Play the ace of hearts now. And we're going to do some ruffing, aren't we? Ruff a heart. We can ruff a heart high. Well, if trumps break 3-0, you'd have to change slightly. Okay. We can draw the last trump. Okay. A heart ruffed there. I've played this in the wrong order, but it doesn't matter. Let's just pretend I didn't draw the last trump there. Okay. A heart ruffed. Where am I? A club ruffed. Okay. A heart ruffed. Sorry about that. And then we would draw the last trump there. So just wanted to get us in the right place. So that's the position you get to. Okay. You're hoping the finesse is going to work, but if you take a finesse, doesn't matter which one you choose, whether you play the 10 or the queen, let's say the 10, North wins it, but North is end played. If North plays a heart, we can ruff and discard. If North plays a diamond, ace and queen wins. Okay. So, easy. However, let's look at the perspective of the North hand. So you're on lead. You've led the ace of clubs. At this point, look at your beauty. You can see dummy on your right here. That's the only hand you can see. You're thinking your king jack of diamonds are gorgeous, but are they going to make? You would love your partner to be able to lead. And it's a partnership game. Generally, the play of the queen promises the jack. So the queen of clubs is a brilliant play on this hand. If South plays the queen, can you see what the defence can do? I'm going to trust my partner, says North. I'm going to let my partner win the next trick. He plays a small club to the jack. And of course, South knows what to do. South is thinking to himself, South looks on his right. He looks at dummy is on his right. He looks for the weakest suit in sight. No point leading a heart because the hearts are going to be rough. But those diamonds, yes, I'm going to play the 5 of diamonds. What you do as declarer, you put the 10 in. The jack wins. But of course, North can just play anything now. Clubs or hearts or spades. As long as he doesn't play diamonds, he's not end played. So he just plays a club back. And now, unfortunately for East-West, we can't end play them. We've lost 3 tricks, don't forget. The ace and king, the ace and queen of clubs. No, the ace and jack of clubs. We've lost a diamond. So we just have to take another diamond finesse. It's unlucky. You've taken 2 diamond finesses, the 10 and the queen, and both would fail. But can you see that the defence have been able to scupper the end play by playing the key suit early? So just clarifying that, let's look at that again. The diamonds there are the key suit. If South can lead diamonds, North is happy. If North has to lead diamonds, which he did in the end, in the first incarnation, as it were, he ends up giving a trick away. So what South has done is trying to give North the chance to get him on lead. The other option is for North to play the ace of clubs and then just play something else. When a second round of clubs is played, South can leap up with a high one, and of course North would be able to underplay that. So North didn't have to play the ace and king of clubs. Playing the ace of clubs and then switching to a heart or a spade would allow South to get the lead, and it's key, isn't it? South needs the lead so he can play a diamond. Okay, so that end play can be taken out, but not easy. But it's whenever you've got all the strength of the defence, okay, then I want you to think about trying to get on lead as the weaker player and get off the lead if you've got the strength. So not easy. Here's a hand that came up last time, and a lot of people were saying, oh, that was a clever switch. So let's look at it. I've changed it slightly to make sure we can take the contract down. Okay. So it goes 1 spade, 2 no trumps overcall, 3 showing both minors. What do you bid with the east hand? It's not a particularly nice hand, but you sort of feel you've got to bid 3 spades. Does that make sense? I think you've got to, really. So you do. It's a pretty horrible hand, but do you want to pass 2 no trumps? I don't think so. So you bid 3 spades and partner bids 4 spades. So you finish in 4 spades, a little bit high. Remember, you know that North has 5-5. North chooses to lead the king of diamonds. Okay, so North chooses to lead the king of diamonds, and you've got to make a plan. Okay. How do you feel about that? I'm just clicking through the bids on the thing that we're going to look at. Okay, so you've led the king of diamonds, and we are thinking, if you remember this from last time, okay, we've got 9 top tricks. Okay, it's a similar hand, not exactly the same as last week, I should say, and your plan is to end play South. You know that if North has 5-5 in the minors, South has 2 and 2. So you duck the first diamond. Okay, you duck the first diamond. And the hope is that North continues diamonds. And if North does continue diamonds, you can win the ace, draw trumps, play the ace and king sorry, ace, queen and king of clubs. And then when we lead a heart, South will only have hearts left. Remember, he's only got 2 diamonds and 2 clubs is what we believe. Does that make sense? So our plan is to use the bidding to end play South. And it will work perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to take you to the Q plus hand. That's the full hand there. So let's go to the hand again. Here's the hand. 1 spade, 2 no trumps. I think that's fine. North, south are non-vulnerable against vulnerable. So I think it's a great bid showing those minors. Doesn't show strength. Sorry, when I alerted it now, I just showed the shape, not the strength. It doesn't show a strong hand, particularly at this vulnerability. So I think 2 no trumps is a great bid. So we lead the king of diamonds and we duck it. Okay. Now at this point, North is looking at dummy, and dummy is on North's left. Okay. Dummy's on North's left, so he's looking to lead through heft or strength. Okay. Don't forget, if diamonds were 6 in the North hand, it's not the end of the world if you've ducked. It's not ideal, but at least they wouldn't be roughing your ace of diamonds away. But remember, generally when they make these bids, particularly when they're non-vulnerable, 5-5 is by far the most common holding they will hold. So the king of diamonds is ducked. It is very easy just to carry on with the queen of diamonds, or even to play the jack of clubs. And to be fair, I mean, your partner could be holding good clubs on this hand, but if he has got good clubs, then West is likely to be short. Okay, here, what you're going to do is you're going to think about switching. That's all. You might not find the right switch, but if you do, of course, the hand is all over. Don't forget, it doesn't matter whether North has the ace of hearts here. You would have been playing it by ducking it and, and then playing a heart to the king. Okay, so let's just play it the correct way. Let's say North plays the king, queen of diamonds. Okay, and a lot of people would, or that have played a club. We can win it. Okay, we draw trumps. So let's just draw the trumps here. And then we play the queen of clubs and the ace of clubs there. Okay, and don't forget, if North has the ace of hearts, your king's going to win. So you would lead a small heart here. And if North had the ace of hearts, you're playing to the king. Okay. Okay, so you play to the king. The ace wins. The queen wins. But now our jack is a winner. Remember, South cannot play a diamond. So when the 3rd round of hearts is played, we can discard our diamond and win the jack of hearts. So if North woodenly carries on diamonds, we make our contract by finessing, by end playing, South. Okay. So it looks bad that the ace and queen are over it and we lose the ace and queen, but we made the 3rd round of hearts there. So let's go back to the start. We led the king of diamonds. Okay. And now North can contemplate switching. I think we'd lead a heart because there's a chance of more tricks there. Jack of clubs is not the worst switch here. Okay. Okay. North needs to switch though, and that's the key. The king of diamonds, sometimes I suppose partner might have the ace, but partner could have overtaken with the ace if partner wants you to carry on with diamonds. So if partner had the ace of diamonds, you could have played the ace and let it back. So for me, I don't think another diamond makes much sense. Bear in mind though, sometimes your partner will have a singleton, so it's not as simple as you think. But the key is that you are contemplating switching here. As I say, partner might have had ace-king of clubs, I suppose. But I think the most ordinary heart would be switch would be a heart. I don't mind whether you try a small heart or the 5 of hearts. You want your partner to continue. So it goes the 5 of hearts, what can declare do? Because the problem is here, although you think you're going to make a heart trick, so maybe you put the jack in, The queen makes. Your partner carries on with the ace of hearts. Okay. And the key here is he leads another heart. Okay. Because North can ruff the third heart. So it's all well and good West thinking, oh, that king of hearts is a winner. But if he discards, the 8 of spades wins the trick. If he doesn't discard, so let's say he ruffs high instead, well then of course he has to lose a diamond. Isn't it? Once you've lost 3 tricks, you can't end play someone. Okay, so can you see he makes all his clubs and spades, but he has to lose the third round of diamonds. Okay, so the key is switching. Now, I don't think it's that easy. I mean, obviously, we're talking about today. This is easy. King of diamonds, surely you switch, but it's not unreasonable. The jack of clubs looks like a powerful switch. Heart might help De Clever. I suppose if De Clever has ace 10 of hearts, he was probably going to pick up the hearts anyway. But so it's not a clear-cut switch. But the key is you're contemplating switching. When you've given away your hand, remember you've told the opponents you're 5-5. You've got to think about switching because they're gonna have a good idea of how to play the hand. Okay, so when you do make bids that are explicit, sometimes you've got to make up for it in the defence. So well done, North, if you find a heart switch there. Okay. So we'll look at one more hand to finish our chat about end play. So here we are. We're looking at a north-south set of hands. Some of you would have seen this hand. It was from one of our Fridays. And I think most of us, when we were looking at this hand, decided it was pretty tough. Okay, so the auction started 1 spade from east. What would you reckon with the south hand? So your opponent has opened 1 spade. And I think with 16 points, reasonable spades, and a balanced hand, 1 no trump looks reasonable. It's a strong no trump. It goes pass, and then I think 9 points is borderline, but I think 3 no trumps looks ordinary from North as well. Okay, so we finish in 3 no trumps. And West leads the 4 of spades, and you have a plan to make. Okay. So I'll tell you that you've got 7 top tricks. Obviously, I know you can count those. You've got 4 diamonds, the ace, king of hearts, and the ace of clubs. And you are going to make the queen of spades as well. And what's interesting is you discover that East started with only 4 spades. And what's interesting is if you realise he's only started with 4 spades, you'll realise he's got a balanced type of hand. And that means that he won't have 12 to 14 points. So if you've got 25 points and East doesn't have 12 to 14, I think we're looking at West holding a Yarborough. Okay, so bearing that in mind, have you got a plan? Okay. So we're going to aim to end play East, and it looks pretty simple, really. Okay, he's going to take his ace, king of spades and knock out my queen, because that establishes a trick for him. Okay, so he knocks out our queen of spades, and our plan is to take our 4 diamond tricks, the ace and king of hearts, and then put East on lead, because he's got every single point in the pack. And when he's on lead, he can take his 1 spade winner. But he'll then have to lead clubs to me. Does that make sense? So I'm hoping we've got a plan. The idea is, the most important part of this plan is I do not expect the club finesse to work. Okay, and once I've decided on that, what I want is to get East on lead. So if you're happy with that, I'm going to confuse you. Okay? Because we are going to sit in the East seat. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so you can see the same dummy. You've got the green bases in the centre. Okay, okay. As Brian's saying, we've seen this hand and we're going to try and work it out. So we're going to look at as a defender. Okay, this is not easy. How forward and coming. Okay, so You have opened the bidding 1 spade as east. You've then seen the auction go 1 no trump. Overcall from south, 3 no trump from north, and your partner's led the 4 of spades. You're playing against a good declarer. You've got problems here because you've shown them where all the points are. You decide to win the king. Okay, and the problem is you have all the strength and declarer knows it. And the key is there any way you can get off lead? You need to establish a spade suit, so you're going to have to knock out the queen. Unfortunately, you can't knock it out on the last round of spades. South is always going to be able to win the queen before that, so you can either play the ace of spades now and then play the jack to the queen, or you can lead the jack now and let the queen win. Unfortunately, he can still put you back on lead, so that's no good. As you've seen, declarer is going to take all of those diamonds, so there's no way you can get partner on lead in diamonds. Okay, so you know, it's a problem. Again, sorry, someone was asking, thank you, Will, for clarifying that. The reason we find out declarer has 4 spades is because as the play goes on, you don't know it from the start. That is important. Okay. So the problem that East has, he can see he can't get off leading clubs, because if he has to lead a club, he's going to give declarer 2 tricks. The only hope is that 2 of hearts. And we were looking at unblocking on a Friday series. We did about 5 seminars on it. This was the final one, and as most people who watch the Friday series know, the 5th part of each series is pretty difficult. Okay, so we like to watch them, but we don't necessarily think we will be able to play them. But in theory, if East gets rid of his jack and queen of hearts, then his 2 of hearts might be won by partner's 10. Now at the same time, it might be won by declarer's 10, but there is just a chance it might be won by our partner's 10. And if that is the case, partner can then lead a club. Okay, so we leave the ace of spades back, and then the jack of spades here, and that's the point where declarer finds out that East only had 4 spades, and if East only started with 4 spades, he must have had a balanced hand, which means he must have the 15 points that are remaining in the pack. Okay. Now, of course, it requires a good declarer to know that. Declarer now plays the ace, king, queen, jack of diamonds, and the ace and king of hearts. The ace, king, queen, jack of diamonds, 4 diamond tricks, and the ace, king of hearts. And this is what you've got left. Okay, you have 4 cards left in your hand. You have the 10 of spades, which is a winner. You have a question mark next to hearts, and you have the king and jack of clubs. So if that question mark is the queen or jack of hearts, which it will be for most of us, I'm going to be honest, most of us, it's the kind of thing we might work out afterwards, but during the play, it just seems normal, you know, and you end up making your 10 of spades and the queen of hearts, and then think, oh dear, the last 2 tricks, I'm on lead, I've got the king jack, and dummy has the ace queen. And can you see, if I win the spade and win the heart, unfortunately, I lose. But if the heart is the 2 of hearts, I'm a genius, unless, of course, declarer has the 10 of hearts. So, as you know, though, I set these hands, so we're fine. So, declarer leads a spade, let's say, or a heart at this time. Can we get off lead? Well, it depends what that heart is. Okay, so there's the layout. You can see the layout. I've given your partner the 10 of hearts. And so if you, under the ace, you play the queen of hearts, and under the king of hearts, you play the jack of hearts, you can then avoid the end play. However, if we just go back one step, if you don't, and if you're left with the queen of hearts in your hand, you can win the 10 of spades, you can win the queen of hearts, but you then have to give declarer the last 2 tricks. Can you see the idea? So that's really tough to imagine it. But if you unblock, you get the contract 1 down, because you end up making 3 spade tricks, the 10 of hearts, and a club lead, or in fact partner might even make two hearts, as it were. Declarer knows the club finesse is working, so there's no point in not end playing. When he sees you unblock the queen and jack of hearts, I guess he might try something different. Maybe hope you've just got 2 hearts, but he's doing that anyway by playing a spade. So I think he's just got to bow to the greater player if he sees you unblocking the queen and jack of hearts. Okay. If you get end played, declarer makes those last two tricks with the ace and queen of clubs, and it's a beautiful end play. If I was doing this as an end play, I would have given East the queen jack 10 of hearts. And if he started with the queen jack 10 of hearts bare, there is nothing that he can do. It's only because he has the 2 of hearts that he's going to keep that. Okay, so as I say, that's really tough. Okay, all right, but it's there for you, and it just shows you the gamut of end play. Okay, a lot of end plays, there's nothing you can do. Okay, East had a discard. He discarded a small club, John, on the 4th diamond. Okay, he discarded a small club. He needs to keep the 2 of hearts, so there's no good discarding a heart. His only choice was discard a small club, so he discarded a small club. The idea being, if he discards the 2 of hearts, of course, then he hasn't got that to play. Okay, so he does need to keep the 3 hearts. So the only card he had spare to discard on the diamonds was the 2 of clubs. I say the 2 of clubs. I'll just check if it was. It was the 2 of clubs. Just checking. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's come back to... Sorry, where am I? I'm over here. Okay. I've got to go back to the hand evaluation, so let's go to it. I've just got to get the hand. Let's go there. Bear with me when I pick up the hand. I've got to go to own deals, use, and it's the one above. There we go. So I wanted you to think about this hand in terms of a Benji 2 clubs. Now, we're going to talk about strong hand bidding in November. Okay, so North starts this hand with the 2 clubs. Now, first of all, let's evaluate the south hand. Okay, the south hand is worth 5 tricks. But it is only worth 5 tricks in a spade contract. So for me, this is a spectacular hand. Now, the first important element of a Benji 2 clubs is South should always bid 2 diamonds. Now, always is a grand word, okay? Because again, you can break this every so often. However, you only ever break the rule if you have a spectacular holding in your spade suit. And what I mean by a spectacular hand holding is a spade suit that is happy to play opposite a void. That's how good the spade suit needs to be. Okay, now usually, of course, partner will have 1 or 2 of them. And of course, this is an occasion where it is, because it's solid. So if you take the 10, 9, 8 of spades and replace them with the 4, 3, 2, the correct response to 2 clubs is 2 diamonds. Really important that. You only bid 2 spades if you believe it is that important for your partner to know about. So you don't really want to discuss the suit with your partner. You are basically saying to your partner, I fully believe that spades is the best suit partner. If you trust me, we're likely to get to the best contract. So what do I mean by that? Well, the point is here is that so 99% of the time I respond 2 diamonds to 2 clubs. So as long as my partner trusts me, my 2 spade bid is outrageous. And it should almost make my partner upset. Because look, North wants to show both suits. So most of the time I bid 2 diamonds. Partner shows his hearts. I bid 2 spades. Partner shows his diamonds. Beautiful. But I'm not interested because my spades are so strong. My spades are so strong, I want my partner to understand that almost all the time we'll be playing in spades. Okay, now, on this hand, partner will probably bid 3 hearts. Okay, I mean, there could have been a 3 club bid there. In fact, there probably is. Let me just go back. I'm just going to go back there because I think East might have made a bid. That's all. So we're bidding 2 spades. I think there might have been a 3 club bid in here from West, sorry. 3 hearts, bid naturally, bid your major. Okay, but you're pretty sure that you're probably going to finish in spades here. 3 spades here. Okay, and at that point, okay, again, remember, you don't care if your partner's got 7 hearts. If he's got 7 hearts, he makes no tricks from your hand. Can you understand that? If your partner has ace, king, queen to 7, you still want your partner to play in a spade contract. Because remember, he's opened a Benji 2 clubs, so he's only saying he's got 8 tricks. You are saying you can give him 5 tricks, but partner, only if you play in spades. So if you've got 7 hearts to the ace, king, queen, I still think it's correct for us to play in spades. Can you see that? Even if your partner's got ace, king, queen, jack, 10 to 7. If he's got ace, king, queen, jack, 10 to 7 and a singleton spade, he makes no tricks from your hand. So he might as well just bid it himself. Whereas if he lets you play in spades, he makes 5 tricks. And you know you can get to his hand because he's the strong hand. So over 3 spades, your partner's going to bid blackward. Just to make sure you've got something. Once you show the king, you should be solid. So we end up in 6 spades. The only way you're going to get to 6 spades here really is if you persuade partner your spades are spectacular. Okay? All right? You can bid 2 diamonds if you want. Unfortunately, it goes 3 clubs, Ruben, on this particular hand. So let's just go back. I mean, if you take the auction where you bid 2 diamonds. So don't forget, I'm not going to bid 2 diamonds very often. It's a 1 in a million time. Okay? Okay, but it goes past 3 clubs. Sorry, I've done it again. Apologies. Okay, let's go through. It goes 2 clubs, pass. Come on. 2 diamonds from us. Unfortunately, it goes 3 clubs. Okay. Oh, is that wrong? What have I done now? Sorry, the computer was responding rather slowly to me there. So 2 diamonds relay, 3 clubs from west. Now, of course, 3 hearts. Okay, pass. We bid 3 spades. Surely we can't bid 4 spades here. I don't even know what that means. So if your spades are spectacular, but they must be spectacular, so I don't want really to show you this, it has to be a hand that fully believes that whatever partner has, we should be playing in spades. The final contract here, you want to be 6 spades. If your partner has 7 hearts, most of the time he's going to be boss. But I'm telling him, as long as he trusts me, and remember, I've got to have that 10-9-8 as well. So it's got to be spectacular. It has to be completely spectacular. It's a bit like a jump response to a 1-level bid. Okay? This does not show the futility of Benji. It shows the brilliance of Benji. Benji is a great system as long as you play it well. Okay, what's difficult with 2 club bids and things like that, you know, with strong bids here, you'd have to open if you play 3 weak 2s, you'd probably have to open your hand 1 heart here. I think the auction's going to be difficult for you if you open 1 heart. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay, so I think 2 clubs works really well on this hand. Okay, so let's leave that. Got a couple more things to cover. So some difficult things today. Our prize winner, Alan Day. I've seen him commenting a bit, so well done, Alan. You are our prize winner this week. Let's just grab a card out of the 4. Again, there's 4 up because I haven't got anybody playing in August yet. Okay. There we go. The 4 of hearts. That means you play east-west on the other table. Okay. East-west on the other table. And someone's suggesting 6 spades will fail. You can't do everything as the defence. It looks like you might, but you can't do everything. So Alan's playing east-west on the other table. So he's my teammate. He'll be my teammate. He can play with the partner of his choice, and I'll send him an email with regard to that. So well done, Alan. Let me show you our tip. The tip is going to be about beginners, as I've been explaining. So I'll quickly show you that. This one's simple, and it's for anybody teaching or beginners or novices. When you're learning bridge, let's start with mini bridge. It's a great little invention. It's good, and I do recommend it. It's basically playing bridge but without the bidding. So you start by basically announcing your points. So if you've not come across it, it's a great way of starting people off. What people do is each player announces their points, and it allows you to go straight into the play, as it were. The side with the most points plays. The player with the most points in that side is the declarer. And you can start off just by playing no trumps, gradually introduce suits and things like that. And what I'm going to suggest, as I say, in the next week or so, we will be having Begin Bridge available on the site. And those are for any beginners, you will have the opportunity of playing Begin Bridge. And the first 4 chapters of Beginner's Bridge are actually on Mini Bridge. And as I've said, the last 8 or 9 chapters are perfect for novices. People who've been playing a little bit, they are great practice, so you'll get some good out of that, certainly. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a real valuable addition. What we're doing is testing it at the moment, and hopefully within a week or so we will have it on the site. Don't get me wrong, you can play it as an expert if you want, but there's some interesting defensive hands towards the end as well, so you'll be able to see that. So we are just in our testing mode at the moment. And so hopefully that's going to be really valuable. Let's finish off. First of all, we've got the ebooks. I want to just mention the ebooks. I haven't mentioned them for a long time. Don't forget you can buy any of those 5 books. They're just bidding quizzes for you to play. And I'm just going to show you our bidding quiz for this week in a moment. And I thought they were great. And I designed them for live, for us being able to move around. So when you're in an airport or something like that, you can just go through a few of the bidding quizzes and have some fun with them. So they're there from the Amazon. I think they're $3.99 if I remember rightly. Trying to remember each, and so have some fun for that. Nice little thing to put in your own little Santa sack. I know we're not there yet, but I'm sure a few of you are thinking of Christmas already. So I thought I'd stick that in there. Okay, so we are finishing with our bidding quiz. Let's put that up. So the bidding quiz has been a bit tricky over the last few times, hasn't it? We've been looking at some more conventional things. Okay. Someone was mentioning opening a 2-no trump bid with the north hand. That is grotesque. When you've got a hand with that much potential, it's a hand that should be opening at the 2 level. But as I say, playing 3 weak 2s, I'm not sure you could do it. So anyway, let's look at this one. Left hand opponent opens 1 heart. East bids 2 hearts. Your partner is playing a convention with you. You are playing the Michael's Cubid, where 2 hearts shows spades and a minor. So spades and a minor. It should be 5-5 at least. 5-5 at least. Okay, should be 5-5 at least. Okay. So you might not know this system, so it'll be new to you. If you do, you will hopefully know the answer. The vulnerability is game all. The vulnerability is game all. So it's your response to your partner's cubid. So I don't want anybody passing. Your partner has bid the opponent's suit, so he does want you to bid something, and you can decide what to bid. Well, thanks very much for your time. Just before I sign off, I'm also interested in charity events, so please do send in if you've got any information about charity events. We've got our little charity page there. We haven't got any coming up after July, so please do. Of course, you can still send in your old stamps to raise money for charity there. For a gentleman there, so do look in. There's the address on the page there, but we haven't got any charity events listed, so we'd love to have you send the information and we'll advertise it for you, and I'll try and promote it online. So have a good week. Hopefully see a few of you about. We've got the prize teams on Wednesday, and we're talking about forcing bids on the Friday. And so I might see some of you playing Real Bridge, don't forget, this afternoon or on Thursday. That's at 2 o'clock for a 2:30 kickoff. Thanks very much, and see you soon.